shockwaves across Africa. Gabon, a nation once tightly held under a 55-year dynastic grip, has just made a seismic shift. And at the center of it all, a man who once wore the uniform, now wearing a suit. General Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, the military leader who led the 2023 coup that ended the Bongo dynasty, has officially emerged victorious in Gabon's 2025 presidential elections. This is Gabon's first presidential election since the historic coup. An election carried out under a new constitution promising reforms, term limits, a ban on dynastic rule, a vision of fresh governance. In the heart of Central Africa, a nation long overshadowed by silence and control has found its voice again. Gabon, rich forests, oil wealth, and quiet resilience, has just taken a step that's shaking the continent. But this moment wasn't born overnight. To understand the shockwaves of Gabon's 2025 presidential elections, we must first confront the fall of one of Africa's most enduring dynasties, the Bongo regime. It began in 1967, when a young and charismatic Omar Bongo Ondimba rose to power. Backed by France and buoyed by oil, he ruled with a masterful grip, mixing diplomacy with political dominance. Omar Bongo was not just a president. He was a symbol of stability to some, of autocracy to others. For over 40 years, he remained untouchable, navigating coups across Africa while keeping Gabon's elite tightly woven into his web. Then, in 2009, the torch passed. After Omar's death, his son Ali Bongo Ondimba ascended to the presidency. The dynasty continued, but the world had changed. Ali Bongo promised modernization, digital reforms, and youth empowerment. But beneath the surface, public frustration grew louder. While oil made Gabon one of the richest countries per capita in Africa, the wealth never trickled down. Hospitals lacked medicine, schools were underfunded, jobs scarce, and so the dynasty that had seemed immortal began to fracture. In 2016, Ali Bongo narrowly claimed victory in a controversial election. Riots broke out. Parliament was set on fire. Opposition leaders accused him of vote rigging. Then, in 2018, the unthinkable happened. Ali Bongo suffered a stroke while in Saudi Arabia. For months, his absence created a vacuum. Was he fit to rule? Was the country being led or drifting? The silence was deafening, and from the shadows, a quiet power began to rise. August 30th, 2023, a day that shattered Gabon's political structure. Just hours after Ali Bongo was declared the winner of yet another questionable election, the military struck. Leading the operation was General Brice Clotaire Oligui Nguema, head of the Republican Guard and once a close ally of the Bongos. In a calm but firm broadcast, Nguema announced the dissolution of all state institutions. The reason? Fraud, dynastic control, the people's exhaustion. Ali Bongo was placed under house arrest, and for the first time in 55 years, the Bongos were out of power. Across the nation, people poured into the streets, not in protest, but in celebration. Young men waved flags. Elders wept. Gabon had awakened. But questions loomed. Would this be another military regime masked in patriotism, or a genuine rebirth? Nguema promised reforms, and to his credit, he delivered some. In 2023, a new constitution was approved, introducing term limits, banning dynastic succession, and laying the groundwork for a democratic transition. He dissolved outdated institutions, called for audits of state funds, and even trimmed his own presidential salary. But critics weren't convinced. As 2025 approached, Gabon prepared for its most crucial election in modern history, an election to decide whether the revolution would become reality or relapse into control. The polls opened, and the result? A resounding win for general-turned-civilian Brice Nguema. Supporters hailed it as the people's choice, a hero of reform, a stabilizer of the nation. But opponents saw a different picture. one where Nguema's image dominated every campaign poster, where state media focused only on his narrative, where dissenting voices found little room to breathe. Was this democracy, or just a military coup wrapped in electoral clothing? Even before the final tally, Guinea-Bissau's president congratulated Nguema, a move that sparked regional debate over the election's legitimacy. But one thing is clear: Nguema now holds the mandate, real or perceived, to steer Gabon's future. As the dust settles, Gabon stands at a crossroads. Will Nguema break the mold and chart a new democratic path? Or will the echoes of the past pull the country back into quiet submission? Across Africa, similar stories unfold, from Burkina Faso to Mali, from Sudan to Chad. Gabon is now a mirror, a reflection of a continent's deeper struggle between inherited power and people's power, between foreign influence and self-determination. This is more than a political transition. It's the story of a people reclaiming their narrative, a nation rising from the weight of history, a leader stepping into legacy, with the eyes of Africa watching. Gabon's future is unwritten, but one thing is certain: Africa is powerful. Subscribe now for more untold stories, deep dives, and bold narratives from the heart of the continent.